Good morning. Welcome to Datta Biology classes. Today we will discuss Mendelism. The Mendelism word comes from Gregor Johann Mendel. That is a person whose name was G.J. Mendel. He born in 1822 and expired. Our death was in 1884. He was a priest in a monastery in Austria. We used to call him the father of genetics. His name is now known as father of genetics. But during his experiment or during his lifetime, there was no knowledge about genes. There was no knowledge about nucleus. There was no knowledge about chromosome and other things. So what happened actually? That knowing nothing about the genetics, nuclear chromosome, nuclear division and others, now we have termed him as father of genetics. He was a man of physics and mathematics. And he worked as a priest in a monastery in Austria. Now it is known as Czechoslovakia. So, on his work was not appreciated during his tenure. What he did, he has done it based on his knowledge on statistics and mathematics. So, what experiment he has done, he has narrated the same in statistical manner. That is, he has emphasized on statistics of his experiment. And he, as he was a priest, he had enough leisure time. And during those days, we are taking back to that place. During those time, there was enough land and he was working as a priest. To enter the day, there was not that much work. He had enough leisure time. So during that leisure time, he has done his experiment. What experiment he has done? You know, he has taken a garden pea. Pisum sativum. You know, Pisum sativum. Pisum sativum was his, based on Pisum sativum, he has done his work. Now today we used to say, our grand auntie and others, they used to say that each person has his father's nose. He or she has his mother's eyes. He or she has his grandmother's or grandfather's complexion. So this is a normal saying in our village and towns and others. But these characters are not coincidence. These characters are inherited from generation to generation, from the parental generation to subsequent generation. This inheritance of characters are known as heredity. But Heredity. And the characters are known as hereditary characters. Now I used to say he has some hereditary character, hereditary this and that. So heredity is the subsequent passage on of the characteristics from the parental generation to the subsequent generation. Now what made him to choose this garden pea Pisum sativum? Number one, he had enough land, he had enough time, and moreover, garden pea, this garden pea is annual in nature, annual, ANNUAL. That is, within 12 months, he will get the result. For getting the result, he has to sow the seed and he has to grow the plant, and then the seed will come. He has to check those seeds and he has to count those seeds because he was statistically very much experienced. So he had time and he took this because this uh, garden tree is annual, number one. Number two, this garden tree has 7 pairs of contrasting character. Contrasting characters. This garden tree had 7 pairs of contrasting characters. That you will go through the book, you will see. How? He has taken, say, for example, seed. Sheet shape, round or wrinkled. Seed color, yellow, green. So these are contrasting color. We used to say black and white as a contrast. So he has taken this because of the 7 pair of contrasting characters. Suppose tallness of the plant, that is height, plant HEI, GST height. Height is tall height and height is dwarf height. The tallness is so tall that this tallness is 6 feet and dwarfness is 1.5 feet or 2 feet. 1.5 feet. So there is contrast between these two characters. So he has chosen this garden tree as his specimen of experiment. And then for another thing he has taken, that is the plant has bisexual flowers. Bisexual flowers, that is within a single flower, male reproductive organ and female reproductive organ are both produced in a single flower, is known as bisexual flowers. So, considering these 3 or 4 aspects, he has taken this. Then he has studied all these things, done the experiment and written the reports in a journal in Austria, where he worked as a priest. In the journal in 1865, say for example 1864 or 1865, 1866, make it 1865 as 65. So in 1865, he has written all his findings in statistical manner. That is, how many seeds have been produced, how many plant has been produced, how many flower, axil flower or terminal flower has been produced. So he has analyzed it and he has made the statistical observation, because he didn't have the knowledge of chromosome, genes, biology, anything about biology or nucleus, because then the nucleus was not there. So during this time, he has taken the physics or statistics as his matter of experiment. Then he published it in the journal, local journal, but it was not appreciated by anybody, because nobody has appreciated. How they will appreciate that he has done this thing. Even his friend, his name was Nageli. His name was Nageli. 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 He was a botanist. He failed to appreciate, because he also, and what you have done, all these things, he has not appreciated. So it was not appreciated, it was kept hidden. It was kept hidden within the journal itself. After a span of 35 years, 34 or 35 years, in 1900, these 3 scientists, De Vries from Holland, Sarmar from Austria, and Correns from Germany, within the Europe, those 3 scientists, they were doing their research on some genetics or something like that. They have come across this paper, what he has published, and they found the mines, gold mines, and they said that this is the thing which they were in search, and they have got the things, yes, statistical information, but no other information other than statistics, no biological information. So they have appreciated it. So after a span of 34 years, his work was appreciated. Now, we will go to Garden P, how he has done the experiment. How he has done the experiment. So out of these 7 pairs of contrasting characters, he has considered only 1 character for his experiment. That is, considering the single character is known as monohybrid cross. How? He has taken a tall tree, T-A-L-L, tall tree, with a dwarf tree, D-W-A-R-F, dwarf plant. Tall plant and dwarf plant he has taken. Because he had no knowledge about the chromosome here and there. So he took tall plant and dwarf plant. Cross pollination is then done. So this tall plant must be pure tall, isn't it? This dwarf plant must be pure dwarf. Other than this, the result would not have come. So in order to get the pure tall and pure dwarf plant, what he did, outside the monastery, he has sown the tall tree in the soil. And in another plant, he has sown the dwarf tree in another plant. So this produces tall tree. This produces dwarf tree in the first generation. In the next generation also, he has done some those seeds again, which produces tall tree. Again, on next generation, he produces tall tree. So consecutive generations, because he had no knowledge, which we have right now. So after 3 consecutive generations, he found that these three plants are true breeding. That is, they are truly breeding tall and they are truly breeding dwarf. So he has taken tall tree and dwarf tree, that is dwarf plant or tall plant, for his experiment to start with. And he has considered only single character, that is mono. Single means mono. So mono hybrid, it will be hybridized later on, I will come. So this is known as monohybrid cross, that is considering the single character. Now we'll see. This tall tree I will represent as TT nowadays, not then. It has got 12 number of chromosome TT. And here we will write small t multi, not dwarf DD. So this has got 12 number of chromosome, this has got 12 number of chromosome. And this will produce gamete T. This will produce a gamete T. So it is a hybrid plant. It is a hybrid plant. So this plant he has sown. This plant he has sown. Now what he did, he has cross-pollinated this. That is monohybrid cross. How he has done this cross? That is a matter of concern that we have to learn clearly. This plant, that is, say for example, it is a bisexual plant, both of these two, ovary, style, stigma, in class 8. These are known as androecium, that is male reproductive organ. Male reproductive organ. This is also a plant. It has got bisexual flowers, that is ovary, style and stigma, androecium. This is androecium, this is gynoecium. What he did, he cross-pollinated. This is the thing you have to write. Number one, cross. Monohybrid cross will come first. What he did, in tall plant, he emasculated these masculine genders. Masculated means masculine genders, it has come. So it is a masculine gender, that is androecium, he has taken out by seizures. Before it matures. Because once it matures, the pollen grains from here will fertilize the ovum here. So he was very cautious. So before it get matured, he emasculated it and kept it aside. Now what he did? He took out these pollen grains of dwarf plant. He took out the pollen grains here, there is male reproductive organ, male reproductive gamete here, and this male reproductive gamete, he has taken it somewhere else and he dusted it. And that dust he has given here. He put it here, that dust. So it has got male gamete. This male gamete was not there, so it fertilized here, forming an ovum. A zygote. The zygote develops into flower. Zygote develops into fruit, and that fruit develops into a seed. That seed he took, and that seed he sowed again into the periphery of the monastery. In his monastery, so many land were there in outside. So in this plant, say for example, here he has sown these seeds. The seed grows into a plant. And what he observed, this is the most striking thing that he has observed. What happened? All are tall trees. These all trees are tall. What happened to the dwarf? So dwarf has vanished. So all trees, this he has named it as F1 generation, that is first filial generation. And the true or the pure tall and pure dwarf are the parental generation. These are all parents. So these are called parental generation. Clear? So on the first cross-pollination, the hybrid seed has been sown and it raised to a plant. All the plants were tall. Then he has come to a conclusion that what characters is there inside is called recessive characters. And what exhibited in the first generation are called dominant characters. That is, in the hybrid, there are two things we got. That is dominant and number two, recessive. DOMINANT, dominant, and RECSSIVE, recessive characters. So this thing has got dominant and recessive characters in the first in this hybrid. Okay. It was not easy because these hires kept it in some bottle, and after that he sold it, and without any having knowledge about this chromosome, he didn't know. Then again he sold in a separate land, and he has grown this plant. All plants were tall. So we have come across dominant and recessive two characters. What is expressed in the F1 is known as dominant and other one is recessive. Okay. Now, this tall plant was again breeded with this big plant. This tall plant again with this plant. And he, instead of doing cross-pollination, he allowed them to self-pollinate. He allowed them to self-pollinate. That is, within the same flower, the male and female reproductive gametes fuse within the same flower. That I have shown you. That he allowed them self-pollination. And after self-pollination, the zygote was produced and it produced into a seed. The again sowed the seed in a separate plant and grow on the plants. What he has seen that tall plant, tall plant, tall plant, dwarf plant. Tall plant, tall plant, tall plant, 3. Dwarf plant, 1. Not 3 and 4 plant. It was 700, 800 plants. So approximately the ratio coming to 3:1. This is known as Mendelian ratio. Write it down. Mendelia, Mendelian ratio, RATIO. Mendelian ratio is 3:1 and these are called F2 generation. So from here, he has taken another clue or another way that in the F2 generation, successive F2 generation, whatever was hidden in the F1 generation, whatever was hidden in the F1 generation has segregated. That is segregation of dwarfism. That is segregation of recessive character, dominant and recessive. What was the recessive here? It expressed here. And but these three are tall. So this is Mendelian ratio, this is monohybrid cross, and this is known as Mendel first experiment. Okay. Now I will come to the latter in the next classes. Okay. Thank you very much.